Good day everyone, I am Michael, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Performance Management Dealing with the Difficult Employee 2024. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our presenter for today, Bob Vergata. Bob Vergata is the owner and senior consultant for RP Vergata and Associates. Mr. Vergata provides solutions to companies for a wide variety of HR issues, including training and development, compensation, compliance, policy development, performance management, employee relations, and managing change from mergers and acquisitions or project-specific disruptions of the status quo. Bob has an undergraduate degree in business administration, a graduate degree in healthcare administration, and doctoral work ABD in organizational development. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Bob.
Michael, thank you very much. And yeah, we've got a lot to cover, so we're going to get going here. Our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about all of the implications to perhaps having some difficult challenges in the organization. I want to talk a little bit about the cost of poor performance as well. Why do I want to bring up cost of poor performance? Because many of your departments, if you're in HR or any one of those support service departments, it was never our product. Nothing kills a great employee faster than us watching us tolerate a bad one. And is it frustrating? Absolutely. And it's sometimes frustrating for more than just the supervisor and the manager. Sometimes it's the employee as well. Leadership, the responsibility of all of us in organizations, create that environment that maximizes the performance of all, not letting these difficult people spoil it. Hopefully these are the kind of words that you collect out of your employee engagement. These are all things that I pulled off of surveys over the years. Counseling and corrective action, it's really about we're responsible for the behavior of everyone in our organization along with the performance and delivering the services. And of course, retention of talent. It's all about the culture of the work. And we look at performance management, we're all familiar with the normal distribution. And of course, we don't hire for normal. We're all looking to hire that, above the curve, exceptional people. When I've been in organizations and done the testing, yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are averages. And yes, there are the marginals. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. Certainly, we have the areas of ability and motivation. Technical, interpersonal, job knowledge, and organizational power. That's on the ability side. On the motivation side, do they still have interest in this? Are they confident in their capabilities? Do they have a willingness to perform and alignment? The performance management cycle, again, when you have less ability and less motivation, that takes greater attention. And when you get up on the exceptional side, that's, greater ability. There you can delegate a lot more and there's less oversight needed. You can see where the coaching comes in, listen to involved people that are in the middle, some direct and training things. And of course, on that far left end, that's where we need to make the decision. We either have to move them up or move them out. And the difficult employee is this definition: hinders or disrupts the advancement and goals of the work of the organization. That can be, in the large, broad sense, or it can be very in the acute or the focused specific area. This is an area to be aware of from the standpoint of how are you evaluating the individual that we're working with here. Our supervisory process, clearly we've talked about the job description, setting expectations, making sure they're got the training and development and the support from us, and then it's about holding them accountable. And we can do it in a couple of ways with the recognition, more independence, control, when you're moving down that slope towards excellence. And on the other hand, if you're on the other side of that normal distribution where we're not getting the accountability, most problems don't get better on themselves. But this is the definition of all human systems are perfectly designed to deliver the results you're getting. And it's really about that system processes and preparation, and that equals the effectiveness. Again, I'm not the attorney, but we all are familiar with employment at will. That means that the employer and the employee can end this relationship without any notice. And nobody should be afraid of such a threat. And in fact, to expect it. and to be prepared. We know about employment at will, unlawful discrimination, public policy like whistleblower, if you have contracts that are implied, what's in your handbook, at-will language, the code of conduct, what progressive discipline, acknowledgments that you get, that they received it and had an opportunity to review it and ask questions, if you have probationary periods. Now, is it consistent with our past actions? And this is an important one. So whether it's simple or complex, we have to get on with the investigation to find out if this is really a pattern or a single incident. We need to make sure that we're moving quickly, promptly, and thorough, and we're going to be objective, professional. I don't have anything against cats and dogs, but bad attitudes sometimes come through visually. Which ones are the behaviors that you can measure and document and use as examples? Date, time, people, witness, all of those things. Counseling and corrective action, start early and get on track and keep it on track. Again, counseling and corrective action, I like this slide because sometimes it's the employee on the left and the first line manager on the right. Our goal, of course, is make sure we're all on the right bus and in the right seats. And it's to make the employees responsible and accountable for their performance and to change their behavior. Is the issue important? Are you willing to follow through? Do we have clear expectations? Is it motivation or is it skill? That improvement plan, focus on the plan and the corrective issue. It's often that final step. There are these last chance warnings or agreements, and I've been a party to several of those. You can always offer to let them resign or terminate. And do you have a severance agreement? Oftentimes, if you have an employment agreement, there's language in there, a paragraph it's about clarifying those expectations, getting agreement to change, getting that buy-in for what's going to be successful, and they didn't do as expected. So our plan is to be prompt again and timely, make sure that we have the clear expectations, again, around that job description that includes not just the task, but also the behavioral expectations, how it's done. I know this says never personal, but it is. Again, asking for that agreement to change, affirming that ability, and the follow-up. You've heard me talk about that. What are you going to do and when are you going to do it? Tell me about it. That's the replay. A little tool that sometimes you can use, can be effective. The 12 elements of getting ready for this conversation. Determine the issue objectively. It only takes as long as necessary. We focus on a single topic. And when we do this, we state the facts, the rule, the previous violations, expectations, the business purpose, plan of action, consequences, attaching documents. Best documentation wins. Not always, but it improves your chances. Quickly, though, there's these traits of toxic employees. There's some things that you can read and of course, in dealing with difficult people, we need to make sure that we're in control of ourselves. Anger and intimidation. Perhaps you've had a situation where you have somebody like that in your organization, and on the point of confronting them, the supervisor, they get mad. This person just gets angry at the supervisor. Be prepared. Take that breath, stay calm, take control, clarify the boundaries, know the expectations, be clear and direct. And again, it's not about being friends. Know the limits, expect the pushback, the blaming, the diversions, taking control where the employee gets aggressive. Then there's the yabbats. There's always a problem or an obstacle. Silence, the refusal to talk. Sometimes it's about having a safe place and using those open-ended questions. We can talk about that another time. Today we're here to talk about this and stay focused on that. There's those people that'll say, I'll try, but I know you'll try. Then there are the ones that go into, the tears and emotional response. And the toxic, we need to, dig a little deeper, give feedback, explain consequences, and some are not going to change, okay? Our top 14. Have that policy and review that handbook. The training orientation and clear expectation. This one is about the employees, that you're getting regular feedback. You have to be tenacious. Know your facts. Make sure you're listening to understand. There should be no surprises. Be professional, controlled, and respectful. Holding managers accountable. You can't be intimidated. And we need to make sure we train our supervisors. And I really encourage organizations, get that second opinion, and of course, our documentation. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Michael. With that, I'll say thank you all very much. Good luck out there. This is tough work and the hardest topic there is for first line managers and supervisors, and not easy things to do. And with that, thanks very much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that does conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.